I'm making this video obituary today for my father, John Montanez. I read his obituary in the Eagle Tribune this morning, which was absolutely despicable and embarrassing, to say the least. I unfortunately was not mentioned in his obituary, which is very hurtful. I may not biologically be his daughter, but just because we don't have the same blood running through our veins doesn't mean anything. In my dad's eyes, and anybody that had a 5-minute conversation with him knew that he had a daughter and 3 grandchildren that he left behind. My dad loved me very, very much, and I know that he did. And I was the most amazing person in his eyes. He told me every single day that it doesn't matter that I wasn't physically his. My father and I had a closer bond than I would think any biological father and daughter do. It's very hard to come by the kind of relationship that my father and I had. My father passed away on March 31st, which was Easter, and I will forever hate that holiday now. I know I shouldn't, because Jesus took my dad to heaven with him. He came back, Jesus came back to earth, and I guess that's the way that I can look at it. He rose and took my dad with him, but still, it's extremely painful for me to think of, and it's not like it's just another day that I'm going to have to deal with. It's an actual holiday, so it's more remembrance. But my dad was 45 years old. He was born on November 15th of 1967. He owned JRM Property Management in Lynn, Massachusetts. He was a super huge Patriots fan, like super huge. He had 2 great dogs, Dobermans, Toby and Duke, that he unfortunately had to rehome before he passed. He was forced into that. My dad was the most amazing and influential person in my life. I'm very, very lucky to have been able to have the time with him that I got. He stepped up and decided to take the place as my father when he didn't have to. He's no longer married to my mother, Jerry Ann. They divorced when I was about 3 years old, but their relationship stayed strong and was forever growing. They were the 2 most closest people that I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen 2 people so in love with each other. It's unfortunate that they couldn't be together. My mom was my dad's life, and vice versa. My dad was my mom's confidant and best friend, and this is very hard on her as well. The funeral is this Saturday, and I unfortunately can't make it out there. I live in Boise, Idaho, and this is all taking place in Boston. I was just out there 2 weeks ago, so I can't come up with the funds to be able to get back out there. But at least my dad got to see my 7-month-old, because that was the first time that he saw him, so I'm glad that I at least got to see him. He got to see his grandson before he went. I was going to read this poem at his funeral if I was there, and it is: if we could visit heaven, even for a day, maybe for a moment, the pain would go away. I'd put my arms around you and whisper words so true, that living life without you is the hardest thing to do. No matter how we spend our days, no matter what we do, no morning dawns or evening falls when we don't think of you. Dad, I just want you to know that I love you more than anything in the entire world, that this is by far the hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with. I shouldn't have to be saying goodbye to you at 28 years old. I still needed you. I am very happy for the time that I got to spend with you, but I still needed you. And I just want to say that I'm sorry, and I apologize for everything that's going on between the families, that nobody is sitting down and taking the time to think of you and what you would want, and what you would want to have been said in your obituaries, what you would want to happen at your funeral, and that people are fighting over everything about you, and when it's not about them, it's about you. People need to stop being selfish and think about you and what you would want. It's disgusting, embarrassing, and just wrong. I wish I could do something about it, but all I can do is just make this and give you the proper send-off, the proper obituary that you deserve and that you would have wanted. My father had brothers and sisters, Evelyn and Rose, Scotty, Jeffrey, and Stephen, and his father Juan that he left behind as well. They will all miss him very much. He's going to be cremated. I believe that he already is. I really would have liked to have gotten some of his ashes to put into a necklace, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I really don't think that I was asking too much, but I don't know. I guess nobody cares what my dad would have wanted, and I know that that's exactly what he would have wanted for me to have. I don't want anything from him. All I want is a piece of him, and that's it. All I care about is him getting the most beautiful funeral that he could get, and for me to be able to have a piece of him forever, to keep him close to my heart. But Christian and Jasmine aren't here to be able to say goodbye to you, Dad. I know how much you love them, and they loved you too so much. It's going to kill me when I finally have to let them know what happened, because Christian does ask about Papa all the time when I talk to him. But Emmett is here. This is Emmett. This is my dad's last grandson, and this was his boy. Thank God, I do thank God every day that he got to see him before he went. My dad was an awesome, awesome grandfather and the best father in the entire world. And we love you very much, Dad. We're going to be thinking about you every single day for the rest of our lives. I will love you more and more every single day. And I'll be counting down the seconds until I get to see you in heaven. I'm so sorry for everything again, and I can't tell you how much I love you and how painful this is for me to have to go through. You shouldn't have left me, but I understand that you're with Jesus right now, and that's where you belong. I love you, Dad.